Royal pregnancies through the years. Have you wondered how Meghan Markle's pregnancy will compare to others in the royal family such as Kate Middleton and Queen Elizabeth? The Duchess of Sussex is now just past the first trimester of her pregnancy, and she's already experiencing pregnancy very differently from her sister-in-law the Duchess of Cambridge. Here's how her bun in the oven ranks compared to other royals in the past. Meghan's announcement came the same day she and her husband arrived in Australia for their 16-day royal tour, October 15th. This alone is already a significant departure from royal tradition since royal women are generally encouraged not to travel at all during their pregnancies. It's thanks to Meghan's good health thus far in her pregnancy that she was able to travel. Her sister-in-law Kate Middleton wasn't nearly so lucky, as you'll surely remember if you've kept up with past royal pregnancies. Kate experienced a severe form of morning sickness, hyperemesis gravidarum, during all three of her pregnancies, so international travel was out of the question for the expectant Duchess of Cambridge. For instance, she had to cancel a solo trip to Malta after becoming pregnant with Princess Charlotte. The severity of her morning sickness also forced her to announce her pregnancies earlier than she'd wanted to. So that's just Meghan and Kate. How have other royal mothers to be fared during their pregnancies? Times have most definitely changed since the Queen started her family in the 1940s, and for good or bad, each royal mom since has had her own unique experience. Queen Elizabeth's 4 pregnancies varied, depending on whether she was a princess or a queen at the time. During her first pregnancy, with Prince Charles, in 1948, she was a 22-year-old princess living in Malta with her new husband, Prince Philip, and although she suffered from morning sickness in her first trimester, she later led an active social life. She even attended a fancy dress party as an infanta, in black lace and a mantilla. During her second pregnancy, with Princess Anne, Elizabeth once more remained in Malta, until at 6 months she flew to the UK for her final trimester. It all changed once she became queen, as it was regarded unseemly for the monarch to be out in public in such a delicate condition. During her third pregnancy, with Prince Andrew, and fourth, with Prince Edward, Her Majesty withdrew from official duties at the end of her second trimester. There have only been 2 occasions the Queen has missed the state opening of Parliament in her 65-year reign, and that was during these third and fourth pregnancies. Princess Margaret, the Queen's sister, wrapped up her royal duties early in both of her pregnancies but continued to socialize, attending film premieres and going to the theater. The Queen's daughter Princess Anne was a tough cookie that had a typical no-fuss approach to her pregnancies. She was seen at Knowlton horse trials driving a Land Rover a few weeks before giving birth to her first child, Peter Phillips. She later told a filmmaker she had a very boring 6 months leading up to Peter's arrival. During her second pregnancy, Anne attended a family wedding on May 6, 1981, and gave birth to daughter Zara 9 days later. Princess Diana continued a full roster of engagements, despite suffering from morning sickness and fainting when she was pregnant with Prince William. She revealed in recordings to her biographer Andrew Morton, "Couldn't sleep, didn't eat, whole world was collapsing around me. Very, very difficult pregnancy indeed. Sick the whole time. With Harry it wasn't so bad. With William it was appalling. Almost every time I stood up I was sick." Sarah, Duchess of York, the wife of a Royal Navy officer, was home alone a lot, and husband Prince Andrew was away for most of her first pregnancy with Princess Beatrice. The Duchess tried to cope by comfort eating, later writing in her memoir My Story, "The more upset I grew at Andrew's absence, the more I grew in general. I drowned my sorrows in mayonnaise, sausage rolls, and smoked mackerel pâté sandwiches. I got bigger and bigger. My hands and ankles swelled. I felt like an elephant, ugly and grotesque." Sarah reported that her second pregnancy, with Princess Eugenie, was easier, until after an upsetting altercation with palace courtiers, the baby moved into a breech position. The Duchess of Cambridge suffered from hyperemesis gravidarum during each of her 3 pregnancies and has been forced to cancel engagements as she has been either hospitalized or housebound during her first trimester. During her first pregnancy, she was struck down while staying with her parents in Berkshire and admitted to nearby King Edward VI Hospital. Her condition was quickly managed, and she was back performing public engagements 10 days later. She then set about a handful of engagements that saw her playing ping pong in heels, flying to Austria for a friend's wedding, and launching her first ship, before finishing up her royal duties around a month before her due date. With Princess Charlotte, Kate was apparently better prepared for the likelihood of HG and received treatment at home in Kensington Palace before the condition subsided, and she continued with her roster of work. Kate performed more duties during her second pregnancy, which included flying to New York for a set of engagements. Again, she wrapped up her workload around a month before her due date. With pregnancy number 3, the announcement came almost 3 years to the day that Kate's second pregnancy was announced. Number 2 was on September 8th and number 3 on September 4th.